This is Laura Dixon's oral submission in the detention review hearing of Alfred Blake. Sir, I will be entering this submission today in order to secure the release of Alfred Blake. I will be explaining how Mr. Blake complied with Canada's immigration law, his reasons for his breach of the laws, and subsequently explaining our solid plan for his release. In 2015 and 2016, Mr. Blake was issued work permits to work at the Farm Workers Programme in Canada. Before expiration of these permits, Mr. Blake left Canada and returned to his originating country in Jamaica as per the rules of these permits and thus complying with the IRPA, Immigration Refugee Protection Act. In February 2018, when Mr. Blake moved in with his girlfriend, Miss St. John, he sent a letter indicating his new address to the CBSA. Through no fault of his own, Mr. Blake's new address did not get updated on the global case management system. He therefore did not receive the removal order that was issued to him in March 2018. Mr. Blake uncharacteristically left his job at FFP after the abuse that he was being put through by a colleague at the company. He moved in with Miss St. John shortly after and after they had fallen in love. I must indicate that no formal investigation was ever taken place on the colleague or the company that Mr. Blake suffered abuse from. If it had been, Mr. Blake may not have been in this hearing room today. Miss St. John and Mr. Blake's strong relationship shares the point of the fact that he had strong ties with the Canadian community and is in a law-abiding Canadian family such as the St. Johns. At his 48-hour detention review hearing, Mr. Blake did not have time to contact a counsel. He did not properly understand the process or severity of the detention review hearing process. His lack of knowledge and confusion led him to put forward inadequate bondspersons. In 2015 and 2016, according to the CBSA data, 6,500 people were detained. This is an extremely large number that are put through an ordeal, such as the one that Mr. Blake has been through. According to Regulation 248, persons should not be detained for long periods of time, especially when, like Mr. Blake, they have a valid passport to their originating country. The current bondspersons we are putting forward are more than adequate to post both performance and cash bonds. As per their affidavits, Miss St. John and Mr. St. John have an ongoing relationship with Mr. Blake, having lived with him for the past 3 months. He fully respects their household and abides by all the rules. Both Miss St. John and Mr. St. John are law-abiding Canadian citizens with no criminal record. They both fully understand the process and responsibilities of being a bondsperson, and they have shown that their schedules will be more than suitable for a 24-hour supervision of Mr. Blake. Furthermore, Mr. St. John is also going to take Mr. Blake, if necessary, to his carpentry business in order to fulfil his duties as a bondsperson. They are both willing to drive Mr. Blake to any immigration process or hearing type appointments that Mr. Blake may have in order to satisfy any release conditions. Miss St. John is willing to post a performance bond of $3,000 and Mr. St. John is willing to post a cash bond for $2,000. They are also both willing and able to post more flexible bonds should you decide. Regulation 245 is relevant to Mr. Blake's case. In subsection D, factors to be considered are previous compliance with any conditions imposed in respect of entry to Canada. As I have proven, and Mr. Blake has shown that he has respected policies and permits that he has previously held. Subsection G of Regulation 245 is also relevant. The existence of strong ties to a community in Canada must be considered. In Mr. Blake's case, his ongoing relationship with the St. Johns shows that he is part of a family law-abiding in Canada. I ask you, sir, to please release Mr. Blake today under the conditions discussed. Thank you for your time.